Hey guys, Layla and I just got home from spending 2 nights at the Kimpton Roatan Grand Resort and Spa. Want to give you a full and honest review of that stay. Also tell you if it's good for kids, a couple tips on how you can enjoy a stay there for significantly discounted rates. And if you're showing up to Roatan as a cruiser, a couple tips for you. Let's dive in. All right, first of all, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to watch our very first YouTube video. If you're a parent who's hoping to travel more as a family, I hope this channel is helpful for you in doing that. We are a homeschool hybrid family of 6, constantly trying to travel as often as we can to use the world as a classroom as often as we can. And we do it on a budget. Obviously, raising a bunch of kids and traveling can be super expensive. And so we're always looking for fun ways, but also inexpensive ways to have great trips and memories, and want to pass those tips and things that we learn on to you. If you're thinking about visiting Roatan, I just came back last night from spending 2 nights there. It was my very first time. I learned a few things and wanted to give you some information that I wish I would have known before I went. I'm going to say right off the bat that the hotel was absolutely stunning. I probably said 15 times throughout our trip there, like I kept turning to Layla and was like, this might be the nicest place I've ever stayed in my life. I remember at breakfast yesterday, we were sitting there eating our breakfast, which was amazing. I'll get to the food in just a minute. But we were eating our breakfast and I'm just like looking out. It's kind of perched up at this restaurant overlooking the pool, the infinity pool, and then the beach. And I was just looking at all this and I was like, this, if I could imagine what heaven was going to be like and even hope what I hope heaven is going to be like, this is it. This is, you're just in the middle of a jungle. It almost feels like a treehouse. The place is spectacular. Now, that being said, we did use points to stay here. And so I will get into a little bit on how you can use points to stay here as well. But if you're paying for cash, I might have had a different impression, or I might have just been viewing the trip differently had I been forking over a bunch of cash to stay there. I think the room that we stayed in was over $700 a night. Again, had we paid cash, we didn't. We used all points and only had to pay resort fees, but that might have changed my perspective. My first impressions of the hotel were actually starting at the airport. We landed in Roatan. I had scheduled a shuttle service round trip, which I think was $110 round trip. And that was for shared bus. And so we landed and I was greeted by a staff member there. They took us, we actually were the only 2 people that apparently signed up for that shuttle service on that particular day. So even though it was shared, it kind of felt like a private ride in the bus because it was just Layla and I. We got to the hotel and again, the place is spectacular. You are deep in the jungle. It's about 40 minutes away from the airport on the west side of the island, the very tip. And it is spectacular. You just feel like you're in the middle of a jungle. And the very first impressions of the hotel are very, very nice. I will say there were 3 staff members checking people in. It took a little bit longer than most hotel check-ins. I think we stood in line with only 2 people in front of us for probably 20-25 minutes. So a little bit longer, but just the environment alone, it's hard to get grumpy because you feel like you're in paradise. Plus, they knew that it was taking a long time, so they came out and gave us a welcome drink to everyone who was waiting, a total complimentary drink. So that kind of eased any impatience that we might have been experiencing. I want to answer a question that I know so many of you guys have who are probably watching this video, which is this a good hotel for families, for kids? Again, we are a family of 6. And so even though I was just with Layla, I'm always thinking, is this a good place? Would this be a good place to come back to with the kids and visit? And I will say, yes, kind of. And let me get into why. First of all, if your kids, like my kids just love a pool. They could probably just spend a whole vacation in the pool, and the pool here is incredible. So if we're just gonna go off of a pool for them to stay busy at the pool and beach, yes. Speaking of the beach, there are virtually no waves on this side of the island. It is so calm and shallow. And so even my kids, I have a 14-year-old all the way down to a 4-year-old. I would feel totally comfortable with them playing in the beach or at the beach in the ocean, even letting them snorkel like right around the hotel. The snorkeling is amazing. Literally just steps from the beach into the water. You put your mask on and you're gonna see fish in very shallow water. It's super safe and very, very, very calm. So if I were judging it just on those 2 things, I would say absolutely it is great for kids. Now, here's why I don't think it is awesome for kids. First of all, it's very expensive. Every time we ate a meal, we were like, man, this is so good. The food is incredible, but it is very, very expensive. And you know, as a parent, when you are thinking about paying a ton of money for food, you want them to eat every bite. And there's nothing more stressful than dropping a ton of money on a meal that they don't eat. And then a few minutes later, them saying that they're hungry. I don't think I saw a kids menu once, and that could have been just because we didn't have any kids with us, but on the menus that they gave us at every place, there were no kid menus. They did have pizza at one of the restaurants and pancakes at breakfast, things that kids would eat. But I will say it felt like the resort could accommodate kids, but wasn't necessarily built with kids in mind. This is a fantastic hotel for a honeymoon, a getaway, a romantic few nights. But is it the best spot for kids? I don't know. Maybe for a couple nights, or maybe if money is of no issue and you're totally cool dropping tons of cash on all your meals, then yes, this would be fine for you. For a budget conscious family, I'm not sure that this would be the best for kids. That being said, I still was so blown away by the hotel that I still honestly might take my kids using free points to get us there for a couple nights at some point. All right, speaking of points, let's talk about how you can get there for a significantly discounted rate. I stayed there using points, and this, in my opinion, is the best bang for your buck. Again, if you are not budget conscious and you can just throw tons of money at vacations, more power to you. I think that's awesome. We are a family of 6, and we're constantly thinking through how to save money, how to enjoy the best vacations without selling our kidneys. The Kimpton Roatan Grand Resort is an IHG hotel, which means if you sign up for an IHG credit card, either a free version of their credit card or one that has the annual fee of $100, you get a few perks that are going to be massively helpful for you at this property in particular, along with the thousands of other properties. Layla and I have had these cards. Each of us have had 2 of their cards separately for pretty much our whole marriage, and we use them for the benefits every anniversary. And when I say anniversary, I mean card anniversary for having the card, and our actual anniversary for celebrating at a nice place that we wouldn't otherwise be able to afford. If you were to sign up right now for one of these cards, and possibly even have your spouse sign up for one of the cards separately, 2 separate accounts, you are going to get anywhere from 150,000 points all the way up to potentially 600,000 points. That is going to be more than enough to have, 4, 5, 6, 7 nights at this hotel in particular, or you can, use them at much smaller hotels like a Holiday Inn or something. But if you want to bank them all for a big vacation like this, you can use those points for that. Plus, huge benefit is you get every 4th night free. So when you're using points and you book it, they will reduce the amount of points so that every 4th night is free, and you get automatic platinum membership, which means when you check into that hotel, if there is an upgrade available, they are going to give you the upgrade. And that's what they did for us. I used my points for 2 nights just to get the cheapest, the lowest level room that they would give us. And when we got there, they had bumped us up to a king suite ocean view above their spa, which, by the way, their spa is rated number 16th, number 13th, number 2, ranked very high for best spa in the world. Our room was one of 4 rooms situated above the spa that, again, overlooked the entire ocean and property. The patio of our room was almost as big as the room itself. It had a couch, an ottoman, a dining table, a little hammock chair, and an outdoor shower. The room was mind-blowing. And again, that perk was all because we have the card and we got the free upgrade. All right, I could go on and on about all the amazing parts of this hotel, but I'm rambling at this point, and so I want to get to you cruisers who might be showing up to Roatan on your cruise as one of your stops. I saw a lot of boats coming in each day that we were there, dropping off snorkelers to the location because, again, right in front of the hotel is the best snorkeling. Now, those cruisers probably paid a lot of money to be boated over to our hotel to get dropped off into the ocean and snorkel around. If I were you, what I would do as a cruiser is book a day pass to the Grand Roatan Resort. What that will allow you to do is get a wristband to use all the amenities of the hotel, which include free snorkel gear, free kayaks, use of the pool, use of the restaurants that they have there. So you get the perks of snorkeling, food, swimming pool, kayaking, all of it included without having to take a boat over there and just be stuck with one activity, which is snorkeling and snorkeling alone. If I were on a cruise, I would book a 1-day day pass at the resort and get all the included activities. I'm sure I left a ton out of this video. Again, I'm sorry for rambling. Thank you for watching our first video if you've made it this far. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for you. Just leave a comment below and I'll give you any information that we have. Make sure to subscribe to this channel. We'll be posting lots of videos, again, that will be helpful for you as a family looking to travel more. Thanks again for watching.